think there's two areas that we're looking for as corporate leaders. It's building a knowledge-based workforce, first of all, and secondly, it's overcoming shortages in technical skills. Education is the only pathway to fix both problems. So when we look at like nursing vacancy rates or looking for a doctor, an RN in certain underserved areas, only education can create the supply chain for the employer. And then we also think there's the ability to specialize and find your passion. So I know a lot of your postgraduate work is really around really becoming an expert in your field. So we try to make sure here that there's a point to get in, a point to accelerate, and a point to kind of become a national expert and find a deep passion that really drives a company.
Hopefully you walk into the facility and you're going to see a motto, and that motto is going to be our learning mantra. How do we learn? Not just by being talking heads, not just by reading books or being lectured to, it's being involved in the process. Then what are you going to see? You're going to see this pyramid on almost every wall. And what we've done is we've taken the work of Sungay, who says, be a learning organization, and we've actually put it into practice. And you're going to see this 5-level pyramid, that the foundation is competency. Then it moves up to professional development. Then it moves up to personal development. Then research, coach mentoring, all the way up to leader as teacher. And so there's a lot of support, because that's usually the hardest part. Going back to school for some of our learners is very daunting. They didn't do well maybe, or it's been such a long time. And what they really need more than anything is support and encouragement. And that's where our leadership comes involved. That's where every peer comes involved. And what we're trying to do is get this learning legion going on. So the more GEDs we get, the more graduates, the more degrees, they get to pay it forward.
Signature does help you grow and learn in so many different ways, whether it be professionally or personally. There's many things that Signature has done for me on the inside. I feel like it's actually made me a better person. Has made me really care about, residents, and it's the actively aging residents, and want to help them out as much as possible to help Signature's vision grow.
Working my way up the corporate ladder through the years, I think one of the biggest gaps between excellence is the connection between education and performance. And so we try to make that kind of primary driver here, is nailing that gap between kind of employee progress, personal development, and corporate excellence. And we just think this pillar drives that 100% for us.
It starts with the vision of your leadership. Leaders have to buy into this. Once the leadership buys into it, then it goes down to middle management. The middle managers have to buy in and support this and want to make it a value. And they have to be able to try to create that environment, because they can. And then it goes all the way down to the employee, who, if they want it, we can help them make it happen. And it starts with their desire and us helping make that dream come true.
It has affected me because my son is so proud of me. He showed his dad one day and he's like, look, Mommy got a medal for being an honor student. It helps him see that, oh, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, it's like, I need more. I want him to understand that I need more than just a bachelor's degree, that I'm ready to go back to school and get my master's degree and to move up in the company, to move into a better position, to help my family out, to be a better person on the inside, to help as many people as I can here at Signature.
Yes, there's a great return financially. Yes, there's a big impact on performance, but also the psychological emotional impact of how it affects the children, the peers, the spouse, the insecurity we all have personally, and that growth. It's such a great investment to make. So I've seen it in a million ways, from the balance sheet to the income statement, but also in the eyes of the person, crying at the time they receive that certificate or that diploma, and watching the family, just all lit up in the audience is the best thing as an employer you can do.
We've seen that when we tell people that we have a learning pillar, and that this learning pillar is really working toward their academic proficiency, working toward their continuing education credits if they need it, working at their personal development, it really helps us with recruitment. So we get better recruits. Then, if we continue that and give them the on-the-job learning, we make learning situations, learning fun, and give them the opportunity to advance themselves as they see fit, then they stay. And as they're now staying, we're finding out that they're engaged even more.
It's a great example of where we came together as a city, all hands on board, to raise the bar in Louisville, Kentucky. And I think if we're going to be the national headquarter, for the country, in our case for the aging care, It's a huge attraction to recruiting people in. I feel like now I can call anybody in the country and say, do you want to move to Louisville, Kentucky? When I start walking through, we have from doctoral all the way to vocational, down to GED. We've got something for everybody here, so we think it's great for recruiting and pre-selection, and it should be a competitive advantage for all the employers if we come here and support it the way we should.